So I'm Melody Wheeler, Mother Multiverse Media. You can find my games on itch, and if you want to, bother me, you can also find me on Twitter. So the character I made, for our little isekai game in the, snowy barren wastes, where originally we were all on a plane that crashed together. My name before was Honey Barrington. She was a bodyguard for one of our other characters who will probably talk about themselves in a little bit. So her occupation's bodyguard. And when she awoken in this snowy wastes in the what was it? The Cavern of Carved Idols, I think.
Yeah.
It turned out that she was a rodent vermin, in particular a bunny. It was that way the whole time. And her skills after leveling all the way to, I believe we got to 14 and then we got an evolution. So technically by the end, they are a lower level than they got to, but stronger. So she's level 9. And let's see, her long list of skills has sneak at a 10, improved disease attack 5, improved speed 6, improved muscle 10, resist disease 5, humanoid 4, natural armor 5, resist bashing 4, resist devour 4, resist poison 4, horde tactics at a 7, magic boost at a 4, and area disease.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was just is a long list of things. And by the end of her bunny monster in snowy wastes kind of career, she is now a person shape. Still got her bunny ears. She got red eyes, and she has a kind of bone armor that she can grow around her body to protect her from attacks. And she got a name at the end, and we didn't decide on names right away, but what I would hope would happen, this is what I wanted. I have to have consent because it would involve somebody else's character, is when you finally got the magic word skill that lets you name people, there was just a moment of, so how does this work? If I just call her Snowball, does that work? And then just Snowball, name accepted. No! So her name is Snowball.
I love it.
That's precious.
I love it.
It's adorable.
I love that so much. Oh, amazing.
Ryan, tell us about your character that inflicted this horror on poor Snowball.
I forgot that there's the video game prompt type things, and that is so good. So yeah, I made originally in my past life, I created Felicia Starfire, a professional singer, very famous, and was going to this anime convention, or whatever type of convention, cosplaying incognito, basically, leaving clues for her fans and whatnot. Got reincarnated as a snow goose. Because what's more terrifying than a goose that can blend in with the snow?
You can't even see it coming.
You can't even see it coming. Who eventually leveled into a class of sorcerer, became able to speak and read any language. She kind of evolved into the face of the party, with improved charm skill of 10. And getting close to improving her scavenger and grazer and metabolize skills, also at level 10 right now. And then, she was able to get improved magic word at 6, which is level 16 effectively. And I was able to name everybody here, including myself, I assume. So I gave myself the name of Anka Starfire, because Anka is the Latin word for gander. And Starfire is my last name from my previous life. So, and it sounds really cool together, I think. So
yeah.
I mean, ultimately she wants to throw fireballs from her mouth, and What's more cool than that?
It's what every goose secretly wants.
I know.
We know it.
Amelia, how about your character?
My character started out as Lydia Frost, headed to this convention as World Yu-Gi-Oh! Champion for the competition before the plane crashed.
Yep.
Woke up as a snake, an incredibly deadly snake. I have, I just took all the attacks, honestly. I have improved poison attack, acid attack, disease attack, and also later on, what you want in every snake, a little bit of a necromancer.
A little bit of necromancy, yep.
Yeah, so I can also summon haunted items, which I would like eventually to be Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I would like to be able to like find a deck of Yu-Gi-Oh cards somewhere and just like summon the things that are on the cards.
Or make your own, right?
That. Yeah. And then my name ended up being Aeon, because it's just a really cool snake name.
Yeah.
When we took our sort of like humanoid evolved forms, I like to think of this character as starting to resemble the Naga that you see on the old school L5R cards. I'm not going to go all the way to teleporting sexy lady snake because I think that is a bridge too far, but like we're headed in that direction, and I just want everybody to have that visual.
That's a goal.
That's a goal. The goal is to eventually become a teleporting sexy lady snake.
Yep.
Like in the collectible card game, Legend of the Five Rings.
Absolutely.
Which my character is probably also good at.
You got to be, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I should have been the world L5R champion, but it's not really, they're not really doing tournaments anymore. So.
No. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is way cooler.
Yu-Gi-Oh! is close.
I'm just saying. Yeah, and I forgot to mention that my humanoid form is picture like, you know, classical, but not like too classical angel of humanoid, wings on the back, beautiful white wings on the back, and then to replace the head with like a anthropomorphized goose head.
And as I said before, there's nothing
terrifying.
Angelical about that.
No, I could just imagine the silhouette like from behind of like this like beautiful wings spreading out,
and the neck, and then it turns to the side and is just like honk. Yeah, the dulcet tones.
Oh, amazing!
Of an angry goose. Yeah.
So I am April Walsh, she, her, and gay gam pronouns. I'm the designer of Thirsty Sword Lesbians, which you can find at swordlesbians.com. I also create other games, which are on my itch at gayspaceship.com, because I am Gay Spaceship Games, and I am at Gay Spaceship GMS on Twitter. In keeping with being Gay Spaceship Games, I wound up creating a character who is a gay spaceship.
I didn't even think about that.
I didn't even think about it either. This is so perfect.
That's incredible.
Well, as we were developing the setting and the characters in the first installment, we wound up with this spacefaring necromantic pirate vibe, and the ship is powered by this cluster of souls. They're not burned up or consumed. They are just there sort of animating the ship in this necromantic way. And that is the character that I am playing. My name is Solar Flare, and my history is that I started out very much as like a people-pleasing, uncertain vessel. So I know all of these people are inside of me. They rely on me. I'm their home and caretaker, and I just have to mold myself to what it is that they want. And then over the course of some imagined personal growth in the backstory, sort of grew out of that and started being able to be more assertive, which all culminated in absorbing the ghost of a mermaid monarch who is completely imperious and dommy, and is now the front face of this amalgam of ghosts that is Solar Flare. So in addition to being on the prow of the ship, like masthead, whatever that's called, on the front of the ship. It is also the form that I take when I appear as this ghostly mermaid with a crown of bones and just vivid glowing white eyes trailing spirit essence. And still caring for everyone on the ship, still being a home, but starting to also have my own personality and needs. And I am using the Hollow Goddess playbook that Catherine Cross wrote as one of the expansion playbooks that is in the Advanced Lovers and Lesbians supplement for TSL. So that's Solar Flare.
Oh, it's so good. Good.
I love that we have mastheads on these like spaceships.
Yeah.
It is such a good aesthetic of like, you know, sci-fi spaceship with, you know, old school masthead type mounted right on the front.
Yeah, that's how I watch
hope
where we're
that
going.
The outside is like also kind of like iridescent as you
Ooh.
just to like go with that mermaid thing, you know?
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Is that like wave my hands like this? This is mermaid. For all you listeners out there.
Ripples of ghost essence, like reflected light underwater, playing across the hull.
Oh, it's such a good aesthetic.
Yeah, spooky space mermaid. Great aesthetic.
Yeah. Absolutely.
As I've often said. Ryan, would you like to tell us about your character?
Absolutely. So I made the Legion. Ariella Flourish is her name. She is a bunny folk that carries around a parasol that transforms into an elegant sword. And is basically the reincarnation of an individual that has been reincarnated as the same, you know, sort of person over the centuries and millennia, as this legion of magical girl heroes in this particular area of the universe, I guess. And basically, she is here to try not to fall in love too much with people, because if that happens, the people she loves end up either leaving her or dying a death before their time because of the tragedy that's attached to this legion. Every single one of the past selves in this legion have had tragic stories with the people that they loved. And the more that they loved them, the more tragic an ending it was to that story.
Ugh.
So good.
So good. So good.
Yeah. Amelia, how about yourself?
I used the Spooky Witch playbook. Surprise. My character is a flower folk named Amaranth, for the kind of flower that she is. And she can talk to these souls in the ship. And so that's part of her job is keeping this ship running and sort of managing the souls that are helping the ship function. She is also followed around by this one particular soul, but weirdly, none of the other souls can see it or hear it. So she doesn't really know what's up with that yet. She has a close relationship, kind of, with Solar Flare, because her job is to keep the ship running. But I forget what your connection was. It was like that I left you behind. Is that right?
Yeah, so you remind me, part of the emotional significance of the Hollow Goddess playbook is these sort of half-remembered things from a long history, as well as a sense of loss of leaving things behind or being left. And so being in this relationship where I am depending on you to help sort of maintain me is reminding me of a time that I was abandoned by a caretaker. And so we set up this sort of anxious attachment where Solar Flare is concerned that Amaranth is going to leave.
But also, like, I'm the only one around that can really talk to you at all. So that's really kind of the only connection that you can have at this point. So there's not a lot of choice there.
Yeah, I think I can manifest, like, I can be a ghost in a character and, like, talk to people, but probably people have weird ideas about what it means to be a ghost that, like, you understand better because you're a spooky witch, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I also, when we did our relationship questions, said that the unseen, these souls, have warned me about Ariella. I think because they have, as souls have been around for generations, they are very aware of this curse that you have of becoming close to people and those people meeting tragic ends. So they've warned me to kind of stay away. I have a punk aesthetic. My drive is for revenge against one of our NPCs that I'm sure we'll discuss in a minute. But also, I think that she's the only person that's normal. So there's a lot of feelings about our one or two of our NPCs that we made here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the NPCs that we pointed out specifically, Francesca, the ship cook / mechanic, that tries to help everybody out on the ship and help keep them happy and healthy, just wants somebody to reciprocate. And
I feel like she's very much the matriarch playbook.
Yeah,
like,
effectively.
That's the vibe that I got.
Yeah,
absolutely. And then, of course, there's Evangeline. Sweet Evangeline.
Sweet, hot Evangeline.
Evangeline.
Evangeline
our
is
nemesis, right?
Yes. So she is the captain of this rival crew that does not use sustainable soul technology, so determined, and is just ruthless, but so good looking.
And so suave.
So suave.
And the voice, oh my gosh.
She is a literal siren, captain of the Soul Eater.
The Soul Eater.
She doesn't have to be subtle because she's just that hot. She can get away with it.
I know.
And one day she'll take you for everything you've got.
God, I hope so. And that's Thirsty Sword Lesbians.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, God.
Oh, so good.
Sure thing. I'm Doug Lewandowski. I'm excited to still be here. Be back.
Continue being here.
Continue my being here. I made Garrison Gar Wilbur Thrum IV, who was a haughty descendant, junior at Poof and the prestigious Order of Fantasticism.
Ryan forgot we named it that.
In our very serious game, GM'd by Greg. A guy who's willing to help mermaids if they're cute enough.
That's what he says.
That's what he says.
Gar sounds problematic.
Gar
he's got a heart under there. I don't even think he admits
not.
It. No.
Gar is a scumbag.
Oh no.
I would not have made that character if I was actually going to play him.
Yes. Well, good news.
My rule is I don't play evil characters. So.
Yep.
Oh, I do not have
we got fan fiction coming up, so we'll see kind of how that may go if we actually did play
have
these.
like a nice redemption arc,
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
There's room for love.
Okay.
Okay, sure.
All right, Jonathan, how about yourself?
I'm Jonathan Gilmore. I'm a game designer, and I created Jimmy Tinglebottom, who is a funny klutz. He is cursed with a curse that only makes his luck work in extremes. So either very, very good or very, very bad things happen. Never middle of the road. And there's a lot of hidden conflicts with the other players. I am the reason one of the other players is cursed as well. And I wanted to mention all the horrible things in my school bag because we didn't really talk about that.
No.
So my school bag is full of marbles, bananas, bottles of oil that I use to oil my unicycle that I ride all the time.
Right.
Why?
Juggling
Jimmy,
pins.
Do you have any turtle shells in there too? Like
No turtle shells.
Okay. Just checking.
A yo-yo, a slingshot, and a fushigi ball that is a magical artifact.
An orb of protection, as we found out.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so all those things in my school bag constantly cause very bad situations or very good ones.
Right.
Like the marbles just fall out all the time.
Carrying those or
No, I gotta have my marbles.
Yeah, like what if
Yeah,
you need
your
them,
marbles.
right?
That's
You
fine.
wanna
What if
lose
someone
your marbles.
challenges you to a battle?
That's
Yeah.
right.
You never know when it's going to come up. Ryan, can you tell us about your character?
Yeah. So I created Elvira Whispershanks. She's the haunted survivor. She was part of a magical girl troupe that was they had an encounter, unfortunately, with the brunt of Elvira's curse that eventually disappeared the rest of the group, leaving only Elvira behind. And shortly after then, her curse got intertwined with Amy Catherine's character, Amy Catherine, and goodness, been kind of best friends probably before the curse, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think so.
And then kind of we all went to this school together to try to get a better handle on at least my powers, and I think maybe I think Amy Catherine just came along as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's goodness.
There's a lot there.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
Oh, and she's constantly fighting off like life or death forces that only herself and Amy Catherine can see.
Yes.
So it just looks like she's kind of dancing in the middle of nowhere, off and on. Just a small little quirk of knowing Elvira.
Life or death situation is just a small quirk.
It's fine.
It's just a cute, fun thing that she does.
I know. She's adorable. She flips over people randomly.
Mm-hmm.
How about yourself, Amelia?
Well, I made Amy Catherine Boyd, the reliable bestie. Amy Catherine is perpetually second place to Elvira. She has the same curse and kind of followed Elvira to this school thinking, she's already lost so many people. She can't lose anybody else. I should definitely go with her. It's probably not because I'm in love with her. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, maybe a little bit it is. And now she's sort of battling and grappling with the fact that, she thinks she probably is smart enough to figure out how to break this curse, but everybody is so focused on Elvira and her need to save her magical girl team that nobody really cares what Amy Catherine has to say about the whole thing. So
except for Elvira,
maybe,
and maybe Gar a little bit.
Maybe Gar a little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
So yeah, just kind of trying to maybe be first place once in a while.
Yeah,
but not at whatever the game that we made up is. I forgot what we called it.
Ready, set, serve.
Ready, set, serve.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Because we are perpetually in second place. Maybe that is the place where Amy Catherine can finally shine.
I know. It's the premier volleyball cooking show competition of the wizarding world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And our school's never won.
No,
so
we have come so
Amy
close.
Catherine can bring them to the championship.
I know. Seriously.
Finally be on top.
Oh, and that's not even to mention our principal, Meredith Bleep Blorp. If you have not listened to the character creation episodes, what are you doing?
Yeah, why?
But yeah, okay, yeah.
Yes, the automaton who lost her soul and had it replaced.
Potentially. So Meredith's soul got put into the automaton and then potentially got replaced with an imposter.
Right.
That's a rumor.
We
don't know if that's true.
That's
that
a rumor. And we haven't even touched on the whole litigation situation with the mer people.
Oh yeah, where the school, the island that the school is on, got dropped into the middle of Lake Erie.
We were only recording for 2 hours. We did so much. we wrought so much havoc in 2 short hours.
Look at how much game Kids on Broods packs into such a small time frame.
I know.
True.
It's very true.
What horror.
You go first.
Hi, I'm John.
I made a character and it's great and I love him dearly. Sweet boy, sweet Godfrey. Sweet Godfrey Halloween, the god of Halloween.
Yep.
AKA the Treat Ranger.
The Treat Ranger, the god of Halloween, Godfrey Halloween, a man out of time.
A man just in time.
A teenager, a god.
A god-ager.
A god-ager.
A guy with only king-size candy bars.
Giving out all the love and all the candy.
Yep.
And I made the Trick Ranger, Roger Mortis, a Frankenstein who summons zombies and wrestles. And he was also he's completely invincible. It's like completely impossible to hurt him, except emotionally.
Oh, well, because he's a teenager, so.
Yeah, he's got psychological problems, and he hates religion because he's an upstart, rebellious teenager, and not because he's an undead monster.
Wow.
Right, for sure.
Definitely not.
Ryan, why don't you tell us about your character?
Oh, Lord, character. Oh, goodness. This is probably the first character that I haven't really liked. But you know what? Okay. Nope. I'm
And whose fault is that?
optimistic. Yeah. I know I just figured out exactly what this character is all about. And I'm very excited to play it now. Okay. I made Chase Spectrum. Chase is spelled with a C. 2 C's technically. And they are also known as the Costume Ranger when they transform, because they can don multiple costumes. And they are a changeling. So that means they've got 5 different physical forms that they can turn into. And that's where they got their first name from, Chase. So it is a cyborg with replacement limbs and organs, a humanoid robot, a altered chemistry type individual, another cyborg, but this time an exoskeleton, and an ethereal form, which is a ghost. And they've got all sorts of different hodgepodge of powers because, of course, and their biggest weakness is energy depletion. So they become incapacitated from continuous contact with energy depletion stuff.
you were just supposed to choose a type of energy.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, you're just supposed to be like on contact with fire or something. His power. In your case, because you're all robot-y, I would suggest like, an electrical field or extreme heat or cold.
Oh, it's got to be something ridiculous, though, right?
Yeah, it probably should be like the dust from liquid.
But isn't it energy depletion, depleting energy from me or something like that?
You know what? I think energy depletion is the one where you can just run out of power.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like my batteries run out, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So if my batteries get discharged enough,
you have a finite energy supply.
I become incapacitated
something to re-up.
And it's a big hopper strapped to your back that's full of pixie sticks that shakes out the powder and keeps you moving.
There you go.
Eventually you run out of pixie sticks.
I'm going to say
the Street Ranger.
I'm going to say it's like an EMP, like an electromagnetic pulse will just knock me out as long as that pulse is going. But as soon as it turns off, then I'm good. I'm back to normal.
Cool.
Otherwise, I'm just on the ground, even if I'm a ghost. So yeah, that was my fun character. Amelia, how about yourself?
Well, I made a robot that definitely doesn't look human at all. In fact, it looked like a giant spider, which is why my name is SP1D3R, or the Spider Ranger. I have like the worst, lamest powers ever. Magic transferal, so I can transfer my powers to other people. I have disintegration, but I'm not very good at it.
That's a great album.
Yeah, it's best Cure album. So,
and then,
I have disintegration, and I can loan it to people. Here you go, listen to this.
That is very high school.
Exactly, that's what it is, right? And webcasting, which obviously is probably a cable access show of some kind.
Yeah.
I am excited about the webcasting in my spider form. My weakness is an energy allergy. Which I really need help deciding what kind of energy this allergy is.
Negative. Yeah, it's people who aren't into Halloween.
Yeah, I can't deal with your negative energy.
I can't deal with your terrible vibes right now.
Just make your robotic form sneeze.
Bad vibes.
You get really sick and weak if anyone gives you like a chick tract instead of candy.
Yep. Yeah.
You're like, trick or treat, and they're like, here's a handful of pennies in a book about the dangers of Dungeons and Dragons.
Ooh.
And you're like,
yeah. And it says it incapacitates me. So
yeah.
I didn't mention my weakness. Godfrey Halloween has a psychological weakness to pastels.
That's right. I forgot about that.
It just negates his ability to use powers. So none of his powers work on anything pastel.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And Roger's weakness is holy symbols. It was picked for him by being undead. But in his case, it's just that it causes him to go on a long tirade about how none of that how religion is all bull because he's a little high school boy. He's edgy. Yeah, he's too edgy for you. I like to assume that even though he's a Frankenstein, he dresses in like a Pantera jacket.
I love
and
it.
a Letterman jacket.
I love it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Pantera shirt under the Letterman jacket.
There you go. Yeah. Total metalhead Frankenstein. Which should have just been his name.
Yeah, if he was a regular hero and not a Sentai hero, you would have been
Total Metalhead Frankenstein. The total's part of it.
Part of it.
Hi, my name's Dylan. My pronouns are he, him, and I am the co-host, co-producer, and general keep-on-railser of the Kill Every Monster podcast. And
The Responsible Adult, I think, is the title you're looking for.
that's still pushing it a little too far.
Order Muppet.
Yeah.
Dylan is the Order Muppet.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. And I made, honestly, an as yet unnamed, because this is the part I struggle with the most with characters, Orc Cleric Baker, who's really like, and I think this is something we're going to talk about a little bit more in a minute, the role in the party is so wildly undefined at this point.
Yeah, I don't think any of us have figured out that. We'll see how this works, if it works.
We'll see how it'll work. It has to.
Sure.
It's D&D.
And I am a Ram Vartian. I am the other half of Kill Every Monster. I'm here with my good friend Dylan.
Overstatement.
Care about each other very much and love each other and are super excited to show up on shows together, always tethered at each other's side. And today I am playing Johnny Sax. And Johnny Sax is a elephant. I've decided what kind of elephant, by the way. I've actually thought about this.
There are two.
There are lots of types of elephants.
Pretty sure it's just
all
African
throughout
and Indian.
time. All
there's
time,
African
there's
elephants, Asian
lots
elephants.
of different types of elephants.
Heffalumps.
Yeah, there's Shaggy, right?
Well, mammoth. It's a
Shaggy
different thing.
Big. Yeah, Shaggy Big. So I am Shaggy Big. So I am a shit, but it's all like super nicely combed. Like it's all kind of in like waves and patterns. Like it's like L'Oreal from
Fully
head to toe.
slicked back mammoth.
Amazing.
That's right. A pompadour going on here.
Oh, like an Elvis mammoth.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
perfect.
I'm here for it.
Amazing.
And I play my trunk like a saxophone.
Yeah.
And my nickname is Saxophone. So it's actually Johnny Saxophone Sax.
Please.
Every one of these is a dagger into Dylan's heart. You can just hear it.
You just like see him slowly dying with each word that comes out
him
of your
Johnny
mouth.
Two Sacks.
Yeah.
No, it's
every
good.
time-
We'll do this recording in 2 sessions, and then Dylan will have some time to recover, and then we start back up, and Aram is like, what if I just start by beating you to death with a frying pan?
Look, every time I get Dylan to sigh directly into the microphone, we get a new patron. It's amazing.
Incredible.
Anyway.
Ryan, you want to tell us a little bit about what you made?
My character's probably the most normal character out of all of us.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like that's the most basic, like rules as written D&D.
Yeah, I have
sure.
a very clear role in the party. I like I get a little tired often. There's a
Tired?
Yep. I made a vroom vroom rogue. A vroom vroom, for those not familiar, in the D&D system, which is probably everybody. It's a sentient car, an organic sentient car, to be clear.
There is a Vroom Vroom variant that could have been
Yes.
an awakened actual car. But
But
no,
we didn't
this
want to
is
get too off track.
That
You know,
would
we
just
wanted to
be
stick with the
absurd.
like.
We
with
wanted
We
to-
have to
we wanted
adjust
to-
the world
basic.
to allow for a car to exist, and
Yeah.
then make
Yeah.
a sentient.
No,
Yeah.
having
Yeah.
the sapient race of car people, that was much easier to integrate.
Exactly. So my character's name is Kat, Katt, which stands for Night Agents 2000, because the rogue variant that I took was a Night Agent variant from, I forget which supplement we use, but it's in the show notes. And this character literally moonlights as a super spy because depending on the phase of the moon, they get different abilities and whatnot.
Are any of them not looking like a car? Because that seems like it would be really difficult for a spy.
I think
Alter
everybody
self.
doesn't look like a car except for me. Well, there's probably other Vroom Vrooms around.
Yeah, but like
I would
spies
hope.
have car, like spy car, but like you
Oh, I
would
see what
never
you're saying.
expect the spy to be the car. You would be looking for a spy in a car.
Okay, so
Right?
this is a world where we're used to seeing cars.
Okay,
We should
let's-
we should start
I
there.
think,
Well,
I think
we
that's
don't
one of
know.
the next bits.
I think, yeah.
Don't
fair
get too
enough.
far
We'll have to
ahead of
work this
yourself
out.
around.
Fair enough. Sorry.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But yeah, I had a lot of fun making this character, and we'll see how it all fits together in a bit. But really, really proud of Kat and her contributions to this group. Amelia, how about your character?
So I picked to play a digigod. So I'm actually a digital construct,
Mhm.
but also a god. But slightly evil and trying not to be evil. So I do have one of the notes for my class or for my race is that you are a humanoid, but you're considered to be a fiend whenever it is detrimental for you.
Yeah.
So
You're not bad. You're just coded that way.
Right, exactly. And then I also am a sorcerer, the blood of the lost sorcerer, named Alexa.
Okay, you might be
So-
bad.
Right, I might be bad.
You were also touched by evil for your background, right?
Yes.
Amazing.
Right. So, but like, I'm trying to do better. Maybe.
Yeah, that's a good redemption
At least
arc.
pretending to try to do better.
Yep.
To be fair, you have started out with some
There were
things were a little
setbacks.
beyond your fault. You know, you weren't responsible for the whole touch by an evil thing, right?
Right.
So,
right.
okay. Yeah, you're working your way back. I gotcha.
Right. Yeah, it's not my fault I started out as a virus, you know?
Right. Also, you can be like uniquely reprogrammed to be good or evil. Like honestly, like when we figure this out, it might not
We're
be that
not-
hard. It might just be
we're
a few
not
lines of
gonna
code
get
and
into
hey, you're
the-
good.
Right.
We're not going to get into the philosophy of if a person can actually be represented by codes, what are the ethics of reprogramming an individual?
Right.
That we don't need that.
No,
we don't
I
need to
think
have
we're
that
already there,
conversation.
Dylan.
I think we're starting to have that conversation.
I mean,
Leaving.
we can leave
So-
that for the fanfic. It's fine.
You know.
So, hi, I'm once again Allison, and I'm a tabletop roleplay designer and founder of Soft Chaos, a workers' cooperative. And I made, well, a past and present version of the Mistress of Air in Alchemistresses. In present day, her name is Sky, and she has a friendship with her neighbor River, who definitely she doesn't realize has any sort of crush on her, because that would be so strange. She's like a flighty artist in a high school that is about 1,000 years in the future. It's going to be a little weird when we talk about past and present now that I
Yes.
think about it. So our present day is in the future, so about 1,000 years in the future. And then her past self, who is in 2022, is the Mistress of Air, a kind of superhero-esque magical controller of the elements who's really into Excel spreadsheets and making sure the logistics of their superhero team all stay intact.
I love that so much. I'm the spreadsheet superhero.
The stage manager.
That's a t-shirt. Like, that's a t-shirt you give to a project manager.
Right.
Spreadsheet superhero.
Spreadsheet super, like it's on a coffee mug on your desk. Yeah. I love it.
And I'm Dora. I am a game designer and writer. You can find me on Twitter at DoraD_. And I made June in our present world June is a serious girl who is trying to save money so she can take a trip after she graduates. She's really concerned about following in her sort of like black sheep sister's footsteps, falling in with a bad crowd. She has a close relationship, or I should say a relationship with Ember. She is Ember's shift supervisor, and she's not really sure that Ember is Millennial Times material.
I forgot that we named it that. How did I forget
we
that?
did. We work at a diner called Millennial Times, and we wear weird costumes that are like a really mangled version of like fashion between 1960 and 2030.
What did we say? Low cut bell bottoms, Green Day shirts, and roller skates.
Hover roller skates, yes.
Yeah.
Hover roller skates, right?
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes, though, she yells, "Blossom into beauty and power," and she transforms into the Mistress of Earth, who was a very like community-minded leader who was trying to build up the place around her and had a very close relationship with the Mistress of Air and tried to get her out of her spreadsheet sometimes so that she could stay like a whole person.
Amazing.
Ryan, please tell us about your magical girl experience.
Oh, amazing. So I created River. She is in the present day, which is 1,000 years in the future. Effectively a swimming jock at the school. She puts her almost everything into swimming. She really wants to win that state swimming competition in the butterfly category for the first time. So she's been training hard for that. She's even though she's a great swimmer, she's very afraid of deep water where you can't see the bottom, which I personally am the same. You put me on the ocean and I will not be anywhere near the edge of that boat.
You don't know what's in there?
Exactly. I've played Descent into Midnight.
Yes.
I know Richard Crate's Landry.
Right.
I know what's going on. And she is the Mistress of Water when she transforms. Time to get into the deep end is her transformation phrase. And then she turns into the Mistress of Water, who in the past, which is our present, 2022, she was practically a full-time superhero, barely made any time for real life matters, and wasn't able to be there fully for the Mistress of Fire because she was being too single-minded with the heroics, and couldn't reconcile that with her really strong feelings for the Mistress of Fire. So, and also in the present, which is of course 1,000 years in the future, she's got a secret crush on the present version of the Mistress of Air, Sky.
It's not complicated at all.
Not at all.
No. It's my turn. Are we ready?
Yes, Amelia.
So I made Amelia Antrim, if she were a magical girl. My character is the past Mistress of Fire. Current day, her name is Ember. And she just really wants to be the lead in the school play. She does have a job working at Millennial Times, but like it's not really super important. It's just, you know, like she shows up kind of when she feels like it. And she is passionate and kind of eccentric. But in her past life as her magical girl self, she was the Mistress of Fire, and was a sort of politician who really wanted to use her passion to like build something that works for everyone. But unfortunately, the Mistress of Water really let her down by not being there for her.
Yeah. Feel bad about that. It's one of my deepest regrets.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm gonna
millennial
get you.
times is you're only going to get out of your millennial times what you put into millennial times. That's just something to think about.
Can we talk about how many pieces of flair you have?
Right. I don't know that your attitude is really millennial times material.
Oh my God.
We need some more turn of the century flair. I know it's not required, but you know, Todd has 5.
I noticed your jeans are a little high waisted. I just needed
Your
to
bell
talk
bottoms
to you
aren't quite
about
like
that.
wide enough. Yeah.
It's more of a boot cut, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely see that you're wearing a Less Than Jake shirt, and it is Green Day that you're supposed to be. Yeah.
Amazing.
That's a ska reference, everyone.
Hi, my name is Kyle, he, him, and I will be playing Aaron Caldwell, the Mon trainer who stumbles into success. Also he, him. That's how we introduce every episode. I couldn't help but do it.
Well, I mean, it makes sense.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I am Kyle. I am the designer of Under the Neighborhood and host of the Under the Neighborhood podcast Quest Friends. I made a character named Aaron Caldwell, the Mon trainer who stumbles into success, and I'm supposed to do a brief, like, summary of what his deal is, right?
Yes, please tell us about Johnny Gator.
Johnny Gator? I don't know who plays Johnny Gator. We got to figure that out.
Is that what Johnny Gator sounds like? Like, you know, the Pokemon always say their names.
That's up for one of you two to decide.
Oh,
I don't get to embody
See, yeah, he would be Johnny
Gator.
Gator. Johnny Gator.
Johnny
Amelia
Gator
gets to play Johnny Gator.
He's
it's
Johnny
decided.
Every move.
But no,
Johnny
Aaron
Gator.
Caldwell is a pretty average guy. He's a high school junior, a guy with a football player physique, but he prefers to do the drums. And, you know, he just lives in a nice Midwest town called Hartford, who loves their late Valentine's Day parade. Oh, also he owns a magical sky gator called Johnny Gator, because he lives in a world where small towns have other small towns living in the sky above them. And he, as the Mon trainer, has decided that he is going to befriend all the magical sky critters that come from these sky civilizations. He only has one right now, Johnny Gator, a ferocious sky gator who has the powers of the swamp.
Oh, and he hovers just a little bit off the ground when he walks.
Oh, yeah. I can't believe I forgot that detail. Thank you. He's fierce, but he has little legs that he has to swim through the water, so he looks real cute.
I love him. I love him. My character doesn't, but we'll get to that. Ryan, tell us about your character.
Yeah, so my character is Daisy Thunder, the magical girl who casts spells, she, her pronouns. Daisy is a college freshman going to college on a roller derby scholarship. She's got the appearance of a Sky roller derby hopeful, and came from Sky Hartford and transferred down here probably mid high school or so, or maybe early high school to become part of the high school roller derby team, because that's the only way you get scouted to the college league.
Yeah.
So
Hartford Heartthrobs.
The Hartford Heartthrobs.
The Hartford Heartthrobs. Absolutely. And her desire is to become the roller derby champion. And she also has an animal companion, but this one is a magical animal companion. And those that are in the know will be able to know that she's able to communicate with this magical companion. And the companion is a sky blue sky fox named Azura.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
Love it.
And one of the other things is I get a magical item, and my magical item I've decided is an ankle bracelet. And the ankle bracelet is a magical bracelet that lets me defy gravity.
Oh, that's right. So you can
really
rollerblade on
like
the ceiling.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
And Amelia, how about your character?
My character is named Novella Bane, I picked the Divided playbook. So I have the Divided who was lost in the other. I have a otherworldly patron that has granted me some magical abilities and probably like doesn't want anything from me or anything.
No,
there's
not at
like
all.
no corruption happening or anything.
You
What?
just didn't pay attention to that part of the orientation.
Oh no,
yeah.
I just figured out if I was GM what the patron would be.
Oh, we'll get to that in our fanfic section. You can tell us.
Yeah, I figured it out.
Okay. I have the skills, understanding the other, and then I have an inability to interact with creatures. So I am terrified of Johnny Gator. I do not like him. We're not friends.
Yeah. Azura too, a little bit, right?
Yeah, but
yeah, at least you can talk to her.
Yeah. Well, like she's like more magical, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just seems like cuter. I transferred to Hartford from Sky Hartford. My dad got a new job, and so now we had to move down here to the ground Hartford. Not as nice. My appearance is vaguely spooky, and I just really want to be the smartest person in the room.
Oh, I love it.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. I'm Spencer Campbell. I publish under the name Gila RPGs. You can find me online at gilarpgs.com. That's also my Twitter handle. Those are the best places to find all the games that I work on. I made a Pox Spark last time, which is a sort of a plague spark. My whole goal is to try and spread a small damaging plague across the battlefield and then activate it to horrible symptoms for my enemies as we face off into the world. My call sign is Rasp, although that is not my call sign. My character is named Isaac. I am a scientist that works at this giant city that we created last time. And my partner is the one who does the field testing, who is the Pogspark, though they came back and died of some sort of infection that I'm not familiar with. And it seems to have hints of lunar cult corruption going on. And to not cause a panic in the city, I have kept my partner's death secret as I try to figure out what is going on. So I have been going out into the field in my partner's Spark, highly untrained, not very particularly good at this thing, and really desperately trying to ensure that people don't realize that I'm not actually Rasp, that I am the partner. I'm just the scientist from the field who is doing my best to try and do the field work and the lab work and figure out this lunar cult conspiracy all at the same time.
It's fine.
Man.
What could go
It'll
wrong?
be fine. It's not like there's a lot to worry about anyway in this world or city.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all very safe. Very safe. Ryan, can you tell us about your character?
Yeah, so I made call sign Crimson Lily, the Sanguine Spark, which is basically your vampire spark, because why not? She, her pronouns, goes by Liliana in pilot, in civilian form, I guess you could call it. Liliana is a veteran to piloting sparks. She started off as a Voyager Spark, doing recon and whatnot for kind of an advanced team, but had gotten separated with the other, the Sanguine Spark at one point, was doing some scouting, came back to her partner dead and out of the Spark with no traces of what exactly happened. Made a quick decision with enemies quick on her tail to pop into the Sanguine Spark and pilot that out of there, and has been in the Sanguine ever since. So she's had this for probably over 5 years now, and has gotten quite proficient with it, I would think, at this point. And her unique portion of the spark is because of her iridescent black and blood red cape that when it flows in the wind, it looks like flowing blood.
and that just is such a good aesthetic.
That's a
very good aesthetic.
I'm really proud of you.
Yeah.
Very proud of
All
you.
right. Amelia, tell us about yours.
Well, I picked the Grim Spark, the Necromancer Spark. I know you're all shocked. My call sign is Appetite. My pilot name is Hades, they, them. Sort of a veteran, semi-veteran. Piloted a Scorch first to kind of learn how to do all of this, but was really good at like the tactics and sort of managing the battlefield. Worked my way up to being a Grim. And now I am hanging out in this great, terrible city where nothing is going wrong at all. And hanging out with these two that are also have nothing going on. Everything's fine.
Truly is ready to all implode it on itself at a moment's
I love it.
notice.
There's so many little strings to pull on here. Like I feel like we have given a GM a lot to work with here.
Oh yeah. Political intrigue, all the way up to eldritch horror.
Yeah. And something for everyone in between.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
We don't have any romance, but
yet
there's still time. There's still time.
There's always time for romance. Amazing.
Hello, I'm Steph Midlock. Thank you for having me. I'm from the Atherbeth podcast. And last time on Character Creation Cast, I made a Hobbit of the Shire named Gilly Goodbody. She, her pronouns, please. And she is a treasure hunter, is my calling. And, I didn't ever say my age. I'm about 40, which is sort of like a good, just adult hobbit. And I am keen-eyed, inquisitive, and a little bit of a burglar. So, she's a little bit scrappy. And let's see. I'm very hardy. I've got a short sword. And I also have a wind-proof lantern. So stay out of my way because I'm going to see you no matter what. And that's Gilly. I don't know.
Amazing.
Sorry, everyone. Sorry.
No, it's great. It was perfect.
Oh, boy.
All right, James, how about yourself?
Hi there, I'm James Pearson. I edit the Atherbeth podcast, and I also have GM'd a couple of sessions of the One Ring RPG as bonus episodes on that podcast. And the character that I created last time is Drifa, daughter of Gisla. She uses she, her pronouns. She's a dwarf of Durin's folk, and her calling is champion. And basically, she's a pretty much straightforward, warrior. Not a lot of nuance to her. As one of the aspects of her calling, she has enemy lore trolls, which I think denotes in her background that prior to joining the party, she was part of the dwarven tunnel clearing crew that went into tunnels that were kind of, hadn't been used in a while or were maybe being expanded into, and was part of the team that went in there, fought the trolls, kicked them out of their holes so that dwarves could move in. And so she's got a hatred for trolls. She's pretty much not a big thinker, pretty much just a big fighter. And she is best friends with our party's elf person, who I'm sure we'll get into later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, speaking of, Ryan.
Yeah.
Tell us about your character.
So I've got Laura Lynn, she, her pronouns, an elf of Linden. She's 147 years old. And on the warden calling, wanting to protect the people of this world from the coming shadow that she's kind of been figuring out has been getting more and more prominent as time goes on. She has a focus on healing and on singing, songwriting, and playing musical instruments and making people happy. She's got a very merry personality, and she likes to spread that mirth whenever she can. Of course, she also has a secret crush on Drifa, the daughter of Gisla, because the muscles, as well as the
muscles.
the muscles. But she keeps it secret because her whole life she's in this society where they butt heads against the dwarves, the elves and the dwarves, and She doesn't think that that sort of relationship would work too well in this world, unfortunately, but she can't help her heart feeling what her heart feels. So it is what it is. So Amelia, tell us about Knob.
Yes, my character is Knob Heathertoes. Knob, I think, is probably, let's say, a 31-year-old who still lives with his mom. My calling is messenger, and I imagine that started out as like running to the grocery store and then just kind of getting swept up in things along the way. I think his parents own an inn and he kind of works there and just refuses to move out. It's just like not... He's smart, but not strong. And he's just like kind of doing his thing. He's very happy to just stay where he's at. Does not have any desire to go anywhere or do anything. But unfortunately, I don't think that's how this game works. So we're going to see how this goes for poor Knob. I'm guessing not well.
Did we get an age for Drifa?
Oh, I don't think I said. Yeah, so I think Drifa is... So dwarves typically live a little over, like probably over 100 years. I think Drifa is on the younger side. I think she's probably like 40. She's, a young adult dwarf.
Wow.
Love it.
We've got some well-seasoned folks in our group too, which is interesting. The youngest is what, 37? Is that what
31.
I heard? 31? Yeah, that's not super young. At least we've all seen some things. I can't wait for fanfic to see what sort of shenanigans. Yeah,
it's gonna be great.
Well, before we get there,
hi, my name is Justin Jess. I am a pop culture writer and podcaster. If you want to listen to all my plugs, listen to the last couple episodes because frankly, it takes too long.
Well, also, we'll make you say them again at the end.
Yeah. Just wait till the end. Trust me, they're not that interesting.
No, you have to. They're super interesting, and now you have to listen to the entire episode, or you won't get to find out.
So last episode, I made Mary Adler, a physician with Doctors Without Borders, who is obsessed with protecting people and the truth.
Ryan, can you tell us about your character?
Absolutely. I made April O. Jacobs. April Jacobs is a TV news anchor for WNWZ, the local TV station somewhere in wherever North America. I don't remember. Is that like the east of the Mississippi or something like that?
You looked it up, and it is a station in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
It is. It's technically
the
a station
dividing
in
line.
Grand Rapids.
Yeah, the dividing line for W and K is the Mississippi.
That's really interesting. So yeah, we're west of the Mississippi.
Nope, we're east of the Mississippi.
Oh no! All right, I lost everything. Is it a KNWZ? I don't know. Doesn't matter.
You said WNWZ.
Regardless.
I'm the one with memory loss here. Why?
It's fine. So April is a news anchor. She is 4'11" and wears a lot of yellow. just because
I hate you.
That was that,
and I hate that I get that reference.
I know that reference was literally just for Amelia. It's fine. But she is somebody that wants to uncover the truth, and hopefully we'll be able to get the scoop of a lifetime by joining Delta Green in their shenanigans.
Not gonna go well.
No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Amelia, can you tell us about your character?
Absolutely. My character is Illuminata M. Justice. She works at the Library of Congress in the Defense Research Division. She is a historian, translator, and researcher, and conspiracy theory enthusiast. She's also incredibly clumsy and always has a little bit of food on her shirt because she just can't get it in her mouth. It's just how it works sometimes.
Amazing.
Yes. Hi, I'm Nicole. I'm like Amelia said, I'm on the Misfits of Space podcast. We're probably my most famous, I put in quotes, work. Or alternately hovering in some discords. And you can summon me if you discuss enemies to lovers, because I think I pop up in all of those conversations.
You have like an extra sense for when it's happening.
People are discussing it, and it's a shame I'm not in video because I'm wearing my enemies to lovers or nothing at all t-shirt today.
Oh, yes.
And last time we were creating our sleepaway characters, and I was gonna play Baron, the lifeguard, who has a name that is easy to yell. They're definitely set them up to be someone who's always anticipating stuff with their watchful eyes and coiled body. They are a lighthouse in the darkness for their gender. And their childhood fear was a current too fast to outswim. They have a little brother that's waiting for them when they're out of camp, and they keep working here because they want to save people. I guess I'll go through the questions you both asked me for my character.
Sure.
Okay. And then like for relationships with Soliloquy, the crafter, Soliloquy wants to know why Baron abandoned the craft. And I lied. And magic cannot be used to lie. So Baron's magic casting got weaker. And then it got to the point where Baron couldn't use it to save people. Mm-hmm. And from Margaret James, the song leader, what have you said to me but never to anyone else? And Baron asked Margaret James for help. I need help. I can't do it. I can't save everyone. And they've never asked anyone else for help.
Oh,
that's so good.
Yep.
Ryan, do you want to tell us about Margaret James?
Absolutely. So Margaret James Smith, you always have to say Margaret James when you're referring to her. And otherwise she'll get a little snippy with you. It's Margaret James with a hyphen.
Margaret hyphen James.
Margaret hyphen James. So Margaret James is the song leader. She's got her gentle eyes and body built for strong hugs. But she's got a little bit of an edge as a blackberry blossom gender. And she's got all sorts of childhood fears that are going to be picked upon. I'm sure I picked all of the above for that one. So I'm excited for that. But her singing voice is intimate and honest, like a promise to a friend, which really fits with the theme of our camp. We have a nice honesty and anti-lie sentiment going on with the camp that we created. And then the two songs that I'm able to do is a group song, No Outside Force Could Ever Interrupt, which is just fantastic. And then a song that campers always listen to in a quiet, rapt focus. So get those kids calmed down in a stressful situation would be nice. And then for the relationship questions that I was asked, so between Soliloquy, how did I save Soliloquy? So my singing brought her back from the brink of walking into the lake in a daze.
Oof.
Yeah. And then
the lake is bad.
The lake is very bad. Yeah. And then with Baron, I was asked, are you still in love with me? And Margaret James's answer would be, my feelings have never changed.
So good. It's so good.
Yeah. So, so good.
Oh, there's just like so many. This is always my favorite part, is like when there's a billion strings to pull on.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Especially heartstrings.
Oh.
Amelia, can you tell us about your character?
Sure. My character is Soliloquy. Unclear if that's her real name or not. I picked the crafter. So when I chose my name, it was a word that is not normally a name. Her look is gleaming eyes and a body built for listening. My gender is priestess femme. And my childhood fear was drowning in a lake and no one hearing, which is why Margaret James saving me with their song was important. I had to choose my craft, and I chose augury, so interpreting omens. And then 2 traits of the craft. It cannot be used to lie, and it cannot be used with modern technology. And the questions I answered for other people, for Baron, how did I save you from metaphorically drowning? And I said, soliloquy was at a point where she was like reading into everything as a sign of something. So it would rain and it would be like, what does that mean? Well, the water cycle is happening. So, they're using the yellow napkins instead of the blue ones because the yellow ones were on sale. It doesn't mean anything. And so because people aren't really aware that magic exists, it was important that, Baron used to do this and can't anymore, but was able to tell me to take a step back. And for Margaret James, the question was, what song best represents our relationship? And I picked a classic Renaissance song, El Grillo, which is about a cricket that likes to sing all the time. And when all of the birds leave, the cricket is still there, holding out, even when it's hot, even when it's hard. It sings for the love of it.
So good.
So good.
And I just realized we both saved you from drowning.
Yes.
Ooh,
so
one
good.
physically, one metaphysically.
Yeah. And
Right.
Not
So,
the way you thought either.
Ooh.
No. So, I think that the lake is going to be a big part of this. Should we talk a little bit about our camp too?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we made the summer court as our summer camp. It has a culture of honesty and economic prosperity, which we said is not necessarily this is a bunch of wealthy campers, but the camp has a good endowment. So we can do whatever we want, really. There's, money is no object. We can have the best costumes and, grounds and all of that kind of stuff.
It's important
because it's a LARP camp.
Yeah, a LARP summer camp.
Yes. Way
to
so
bury
we
the
are able
lead
to,
there. Yep.
Yeah, it is a LARP based summer camp where most people are in character and just real dramatic.
Oh, so good.
What did we add here? I'm trying to remember which things were.
So the place where everybody sleeps and whatnot was built over some fairy houses.
Yes.
And
where the fairy houses used to be built.
Yeah, where the fairy houses used to be built. There is a hidden kissing cove in the woods just south of the oldest tree in the forest. But that's the place where the witch was sighted at some point, which spooky. And we've also got a hill off on the eastern side of the camp that is also, it's got a field at the top of the hill that's perfect for watching the stars.
Oh, and the performing field, the performance stage is right across the field from the bunks, right by the campfire, or the fire pit. Oh, and there's the path from the lake that we don't remember where it leads to anymore.
Yeah, the old path that just kind of goes off from the lake and nobody goes down there anymore.
Yeah, we don't know.
And a hill for stargazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't know what happened last year. Something happened and we don't know what.
Yeah. It's been too long.
And I realized with the witch, we have the witch of the week camper.
I know. I was like, does the witch of the week camper always hang out looking for the witch?
I betcha. Oh,
we'll
so
find
good.
out in our fan fiction section.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff. We got 3 campers we made too.
Yes.
Toby, the overflowing butterfly. Oberon, the in-between pillbug. And Cersei, the full dragon. That says a lot about those three kids right there.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Toby always calls Margaret James, Margaret hyphen James.
Margaret hyphen James.
Margaret hyphen James. The whole stories
so
we
good.
wrote up for these campers. Like, I love everybody already.
They're amazing.
They're
Love
amazing.
them.
They're so good.
Yes, I will fight the Lindworm for you.
Right? Seriously.
Well, before we can get to fanfic, we've got a few questions to go through.
Hi again, everybody. You can find me, most of my stuff online at rocketorca.com. I'm a graphic designer. I own a TTRPG indie publishing company called The Cloud Curio. And the character that I made last time is a little gnome named Herschel, who is a minstrel, who is an attack. I would clarify. He's an attack minstrel.
An attack minstrel.
An
Yep.
attack minstrel who is a puppeteer. That's very important to note. He is very green, as in that is the choice of color that he wears. And he, on his shoulder is perched a little tiny stuffed parrot, and he's traveling because he wants to reintroduce puppetry to the world.
Yeah.
That is also not only an art form, well, I guess it's art on two levels, entertainment and martial.
Yes.
So that's Herschel. And that is who I made last time.
Herschel.
Amazing.
Ryan, tell us a little bit about your character.
All right. I made Laura. She is a young noble at the age of 19 who is also a cat person with calico markings and auburn hair. She comes from a small-ish trading town from a noble family and the youngest of 5 kids. And all of her older siblings are well-versed in the family business, and she didn't really have much of a place there anymore. So she decided, I need to use my inheritance for good of the world. So let's invest in some art and find myself along the way. And this puppetry thing sounded pretty sweet. So why not?
Solid investment.
Why not? Exactly. Amelia, how about your character?
Sure. I made Coraline. I'm picturing Coraline actually as just, a regular human lady. She is an artisan. She specializes in fabric dyes. And she is on this journey because she wants to invent a new color. She dresses in various shades of pink, just lots of different layers of fabrics. You got to be ready for all weather situations. If there's anything we in the Midwest know, it's the importance of layering. And Coraline firmly believes in that as well. And so she's off to basically mash up anything she can into some form of dye, and see if she can make a new color. She's not as crazy as Herschel. But I do imagine her making tiny outfits for the puppets.
Oh, absolutely. You have to. I'm commissioning you to make tiny puppet or outfit.
Tiny puppet outfits. And she's like, this is not what I trained for. But
yeah,
sure. Right.
Absolutely.
They're the best dressed puppets in all the world. Character Creation Cast is a production of the One Shot Podcast Network and can be found online at www.charactercreationcast.com. Head to the website to get more information on our hosts, this show, and even our press kit. Character Creation Cast can be found on Twitter at CreationCast or on our Discord server at discord.charactercreationcast.com. I'm one of your hosts, Amelia Antrim, and I can be found on Twitter at Ginger Reckoning or on my other podcast, Garbage of the Five Rings. Our other host, Ryan Boelter, can be found on Twitter at Lord Neptune or online at lordneptune.com. Music for this episode is used with a Creative Commons license or with permission from the podcast it originated from. Further information can be found within the show notes. Our main theme music is Hero Remix by Steve Combs and is used with a Creative Commons license. This podcast is owned by us under Creative Commons. This episode was edited by the absolutely fantastic Ryan Boelter. Further information for the game system used in today's guests can also be found in the show notes. If you'd like to support our show, find us on Patreon. Get access to bonus episodes, extra outtakes, and much, much more at patreon.com/charactercreationcast. Thanks for joining us. And remember, we find the best part of any role-playing game is character creation. So go out there and create some amazing people. We'll see you next time.